What's up, small fries? I'm Sera Proto, and I hope you liked the video. Howdy, small fries. I think I found maybe the cutest aquatic original species. Don't confuse that with the cutest aquatic animal. Pretty sure I still take the cake on that one, but whatever. They're trying their best. It's a totally unfair competition when you are put up against this fat-headed beast that you're looking at. I've actually known about this species for over a year now, but I don't cover anything without there being plenty of images, lore, and wow, is there a lot of lore and images now. We have a lot to go over for this species, so let's stop delaying and actually get started. Nijinu's info is primarily delivered in the form of infographics, so a lot of stuff is bulleted lists. If you want to learn more about the open species Nijinu, you can do so at the info and the links in the description. Remember that these videos are meant to show off the species, I'm not affiliated with the artist or creators, and that these videos aren't often updated and aren't meant to be a replacement for the source work. So please don't ask me questions, as I don't own the species. Nijinu. Nijinu are an open species by the creator Glowsu. They make the majority of the materials related to the species, including the base I used on the thumbnail. If you want to learn more about Nijinu and their creator, you can find a link to the species on Toy House and Glowsu's Insta in the description. Nijinu are species that are incredibly easy to get across in just a few words. They're a very classic style of original species where one mixes two animal species to create a new one, and in this case, it's axolotls mixed with otters. I said they aren't cuter than me, but honestly, that was weapons-grade copium. They're a mix of the two cutest aquatic creatures, which, I mean, look at them. How am I supposed to compete with that? But before I fill my room with tears, let's talk about what makes up a Nijinu. They're long and noodly, kind of like a wiener dog, have antenna-like whiskers, patches of scales, axolotl-like tails, and gills with the branch thingies, big front paws, short legs, sharp teeth, short ears, and hydrophobic fur. Each aspect of this cute design has a practical and necessary function, of course. The whiskers, for one, are a key indicator of their gender, based on the location of where the whiskers are. But their big paws with webbed toes allow them to cut through water, swimming faster. Their axolotl-like gills and tails sparkle to ward off predators, alerting them to the Nijinu's poisonous and glittery blood. They can also hold their breath for up to an hour, and are highly intelligent with societies and the ability to craft cosmetic items. They also talk in a gurgly voice like they're trapped underwater. How would that sound? Something like that. Oh god, I'm drowning. Each Nijinu is further broke down into 4 subtypes called tropical, woodland, rainforest, and arctic, each representing the colors and differences and adaptations made for them to survive in those environments. Tropical Nijinu can be any color but are typically brightly colored and with short fur, living in many human-populated areas but struggle to survive anywhere in the cold. This subtype tends to be very common since they live anywhere humans do. Woodlander Nijinu are mostly natural, earthy colors like brown. They tend to be on the calmer side with an uncanny ability to identify most plants, and they live further north and south than tropical Nijinu, but still don't live in extreme temperatures. Rainforest Nijinu are primarily darkly colored, known for their ability to hunt and survive in warmer climates. And lastly, Arctic Nijinu are lightly colored with longer fur and are viewed as wise and pretty, but they live mostly, almost exclusively, in frozen environments. These aren't all the subtypes, but they're the ones that most easily get off the idea of what a Nijinu is. Sponsor time, just kidding, there's no sponsor for this video, but a friendly reminder that you can hang out with me live on twitch.tv/SeraProto. You can see more of my videos with me and my partners on them at youtube.com/@SeraProto. Mabel's gonna be uploading more videos to there soon, as soon as she gets back from her little vacation. And also, check out the Patreon, patreon.com/SerasThings. It's the best way to support me, especially in times where ad revenue is dipping like it currently is. Dragonews. Or Dragonews? Dragonews? I'm gonna call them Dragonews. This species is currently under a revamp and will be updated later. I only bring them up because they're mentioned in the reproduction section, and I don't want you to get confused when I talk about them from here out. From what I gathered, they're similar to other Nijinu, but with bat wing-like ears and nubby horns. Spirinu. When a Nijinu meets its end, they turn into a spirit. Much like many humans fear, their choices in life reflect their afterlife and their appearances in it. For example, should a Nijinu lose a limb before their demise, they'll retain that lost limb in their Spirinu appearance. This extends beyond just their general appearance, though. Depending on the Nijinu, their behavior in life will classify them as either a heaven or hell Spirinu. The vast majority of Nijinu become heaven Spirinu because it's rare for a Nijinu to be mean. Heaven Spirinu make up 95% of the Spirinu populations and are easily identifiable by their pastel color, moon symbol on the forehead, kind of heart, and neutral nature, and their incorporeal forms tend to drip upwards. Pale Spirinu make up a meager 5% of the population and are the inverse, appearance-wise, dripping down like you would expect with gravity, darkly colored, lightning symbol on the forehead, and are just absolute little bastards. Spirinu aren't often seen by anyone other than Spirinu helpers, who work like mediums. They're able to receive visions in the form of dreams where they can then use signs to communicate with the spirits. If they wish to seek out more visions, they can look out for heart-shaped or star-shaped lakes called heart and star cores. When interacting with these lakes, they're able to commune directly with the Spirinu. You can identify these mediums by their moon accessories. Nijinu fun facts. I don't know where else to put these, but they're important to give you an idea of the personality and lives of Nijinu. As previously mentioned, Nijinu are primarily kind and treat all others as equals, being quick to share. This seems almost counterintuitive to their natural obsession to hoard many varieties of items, though. While you might be quick to assume their collections are just random useless junk, they're actually very valuable to non-Nijinu and urban Nijinu. These items collected are often hard to find in urban environments, making them highly sought after. Sometimes they'll even make more items from their collections, like tools, and will often make things like paints and other artistic tools to help them do painting and sculpting. Other than that, they live just like we do. They have their own language and live almost anywhere that has a roof. Reproduction. As you might have guessed, this species is very kid-friendly, so you won't have to hear me say no-no words like butt or penis. So don't demonetize me, YouTube. Anyway, Nijinu reproduce like Manakit with magic. To reproduce, a couple will hold paws for 10 hours while they sleep, and if their hope is strong enough, their paws glow. Good luck sleeping through the light show. Then, an egg will appear there. This honestly sounds like the kind of thing you tell a kid who is too young for sex ed. Oh yeah, mommy and mommy made you by, holding hands for 10 hours. Yeah, you're not buying that one either, are you, huh? The egg in question starts out very tiny, only being a centimeter tall, but grows to 10 times that size in just a month, then hatches the second month. Until that time, the egg is protected by a thick, gelatinous, gooey shell. Since it's protected by its actual shell and a jelly shell, you can probably play soccer with it just fine. Once they hatch, a baby Nijinu, or kit, is only 15 centimeters tall. Upon hitting 5 years old, they're an adolescent called a kitinu. Saying some of these words out loud is just the funniest thing ever. Kitinu, and are 25 centimeters tall. Then from 13 to 18, they're teens, and reach proper adulthood at 18. A regular Nijinu will live for about 32 more years before joining the many Spirinu in the sky. Draconu live up to 500 years old. There aren't any restrictions on breeding between subtypes other than sensical stuff. For example, a tropical and Arctic Nijinu would likely never meet due to neither of them being capable of living in the other's environment. Also, Dragonu and Nijinu can't crossbreed. Nijinu do's and don'ts. First up is that the Nijinu in universe are feral, being quadrupeds. This is likely to preserve their species identities as being shaped like a fish sausage. You can make an Anthro Nijinu, but it's not canon. Now for the do's. Nijinu should have short split ears, should be long, have a heart nose, 2-dot mark on the chest, short snout, short legs, tiny back legs, and should overall be very otter-like or weasel-like in appearance. The don'ts are pretty much just the opposite of that. Just don't do anything that's the opposite of those things. Nijinu Homelands 1. Nijishima. Nijishima is a beautiful island located in the middle of the ocean between East Coast USA and West Coast Africa. The island is instantly recognizable by its crescent moon shape. This is the island that the majority of Nijinu originate from, and pretty much everything here is native to the environment save for a few imports. The island itself is protected by the Dragonu, and the island is very important to Nijinu as a whole. I'm not going to go into super detail here, but for you lore-obsessed folks out there, there's plenty of info on individual locales like cities and landmarks. Nijinu Homelands 2, Yukishima. Yukishima is a snowy and sparkly island in the shape of a big heart. Due to the cold environment, this is the homeland of the Arctic Nijinu, since they couldn't comfortably live on Nijishima. Human-made objects are almost non-existent here, and just like Nijishima, the island is protected by the Dragonu. Just like Nijishima, there is a ton of lore here for those who want details on local geography, but it's hard for me to keep a geography portion interesting as it would mostly be stock photos and video. But that's everything you need to know about Nijinu. I love how cute this species is, and the world here is expansive without being overwhelming like it is with many species. Lots of original species that go into this much detail have a bad habit of going into even further too much detail about individual cities and locales, or go into too much detail about the anatomy. Dutch angel dragons. Nijinu keep it short by making it a very easy species to get into and make. Anyway, that's it for this one. Remember, if you want to learn how to make one, or want more on Nijinu, check out the Nijinu Links. God, that is such a tongue twister. Check out the Nijinu Links in the description. Thanks for watching. Make sure to stick around for the Patreon read to see how you can help the channel, and most importantly, keep it shrimple. Thanks for watching, and thanks to all my patrons. These folks sprinkle in shrimp pellets for me so I don't have to go meet the big crustacean in the sky. So thanks again to Resk, Qnick, El Tigre, Beef, Fanto for a Real, Bait, Cryptid Artha, Sly, Colorado Blue, Blonsk, Vaderson, Linky, Kit Chimera, Series, Kiro Endings, and Valsi for making this background for me. You can find their card page in the description. If you want to join my Patreon and help like they do, you can go to patreon.com/SerasThings. Kids will be leaving school soon, and my partner is a teacher, so she won't have a job during the summer. Also, ad revenue is down since Christmas is over, so it's a bit of a struggle, and I appreciate any help that you can offer. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. And, you know, here's the second bye-bye. Bye-bye.